Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know, in some ways, I was right. Now, if you've been coming to my live streams, I distinctly remember saying something along the lines of Supergirl on the CW. The reason why I said that is because, in some ways, I mean, granted, he didn't really get into full detail, and I don't truly know how he's actually going to do it, but I have a very strong theory about how Victor is planning on, saving the Earth. So he gets Liesel and Spencer together, and he starts talking about his grand plan. We've been waiting for this grand plan for about a year and a half, close to 2 years since this guy has actually been on the show. Okay? Now, we knew that he wasn't going to sit there and just freeze the Earth because, well, we knew he wasn't going to do that. So he tells both of them that he plans on reducing the population by, um, putting. I'm assuming it's not the water, so he's going to put some in the air. He says something about relieving the pathogen, some sort of a virus. Another reason makes me think that he's not going to put it in the water is because that's what Jerry Jacks did. So I just don't see him actually doing that. And even if he did, he would have to sit there and literally do that around the world. And that would be damn near impossible. So the only other option left is to literally put it in the air. Hence Supergirl. There's a reason why I'm actually sitting there Supergirl. If you actually watched the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you didn't, just do a quick Google search and it'll come up exactly what I'm talking about. So he plans on using Liesel to make some sort of vaccination towards him and his family, and anyone that's like quote unquote a true believer. Spence looked at him like, "Bro, are you serious?" So he's not liking this idea, and he's like, "Yo, listen, I'm gonna stop you." Now Trina makes her way into the control room, but she's still sitting there waiting for Spencer to cause a diversion. Now, when they first got to the dining area or whatever, when everything was all set up, I kept looking at that knife. Because I was like, I know that knife is going to come into play at some point. So Spencer picks up the knife and he grabs Liesel and he puts the knife through her throat. So hopefully, Trina can do whatever she needs to do to make sure that I saw in the previews that she does get, I guess the guards or whatever must have left because she's just sitting there looking like, what do I do? And you see Portia pick up the phone. Now, I don't know if she called Portia or she called the cops or anything like that, but seems like it's going to get kind of exciting. And as always, that is literally the highlight of the episode. And not to sit there and say that the rest of the episode sucks. It's just not really as good. I could have personally did it without Anna being overly emotional. Also, by the way, yeah, she woke up, which is pretty much just a surprise to no one. Again, when you've been watching soap operas for a long time, you realize the characters have been on there for a very long time. And you know that there's a good chance that they're not going to die. So, of course, she wakes up and then she starts crying. And listen, don't get me wrong. I watch This Is Us. Okay? So I feel like that show is as emotional as it gets. And even then, that scene was just. Ugh. So after all that, Valentine just catches her up. um, end up on everything that happened. Dante is calming Sonny down because Sonny wants to talk to the goon. He's like, yo, listen, let me talk to him. Let me quote unquote be Batman. I'll sit there and talk. I'll get the information out of him. And Dante's like, I can't do that. And of course, then he talks about he feels powerless, given Stone and given his dad, he wants to sit there and try to do something to help Willow. So, Dante just kind of comforts him. And, it's a very interesting scene because at some point in life, for some people, there's a saying from Superman Returns: the son becomes the father. And when you watch that scene, you can you get what I mean by when I say that. Laura talks to Jordan. Not gonna lie, she didn't give her the court. She didn't sit there and say, "Hey, listen, I think that he may be going to Venezuela." So honestly, to tell you the truth, the conversation seemed like it didn't go anywhere. Unless I must have missed something. Um, so Michael and Willow and Scene, it's just. I mean, part of me doesn't really care. I do like Michael. I don't really care for Willow that much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hate her like some people do. I still don't understand. I understand the not liking part, but some people like viciously cannot stand her. And okay, whatever. So she talks about how she wants to get married, and Michael says yes. And they go back and forth the whole giving up thing, giving up versus being realistic. So he agrees, and then at some point, Sasha and Brooklyn handle um, Amelia, the other baby. Michael goes outside and he starts tearing up and see, like even that scene, I'm very conflicted because on some level we all get that. If you ever been through a situation like that, we all get that scene. So there's a sympathy, there's a large sympathy that I have for him. Then there's the other part of me that's just like, it's like not that I don't care, because I do care, but it's like I'm not feeling this whole Michael and Willow scene. So it's very hard for me to have any sort of, oh man, he's really losing the love of his life because, to be honest, I don't really see a lot in Willow, you know? Sonny calls him up and, he's about to hang up on the phone. He's about to hang up on him. But long story short, he's just like, I'm there for you. And, although he's like, I'm good right now, but, I hear you, it's his way of saying thank you. Now, I guess what makes this whole storyline with Michael even dumber is that his wife is literally facing cancer, and you would sit there and think, you know what? Maybe I ought to put my plans on taking down Sunny on hold until I can get her through this. But it's like, you can tell he's still full steam ahead with this plan because I don't know the writing for this story is just pretty stupid in so many ways. So you still got that going on. You got Curtis in there comforting Trina. Comforting Portia, saying that Trina can sit there and handle herself. She's a badass or whatever. And again, I'm gonna sit there and put my hat in there as far as Trina being the next spy. Just retire Anna and just put Trina in her place. But she's just like, yo, listen, Trina's smart. She got this. She's good. Um, yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it. Broken and Sasha didn't really do too much. They were just supporting characters, which is alright, fine, whatever. I do hope that eventually, when Sasha does get back, Because I'd be damned if I gotta sit there and watch another Lulu-like scene. And what I mean by Lulu-like scene is there was a point where Lulu was so pregnant that it's like the show just said, screw it, let's not bother to sit there and try to find interesting camera angles to hide her pregnancy. Nope, just whatever, F it. Which again totally took me out of the fantasy of, you know, the show. They could have did something really interesting when they could have included her pregnancy into the show, but it's GH, so yeah. Now with Sasha, I guess we'll just wait and see about the whole Sasha thing. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. Not really much anything else happens in this episode. Like I said, the best part is the stuff in the boat. Like it's pretty much been all week. So, that's been fun. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. If I missed anything, I will be sitting there talking about it tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm only gonna do an hour tonight and tomorrow, just because I gotta wake up super early. But I'm gonna be sitting there talking about GH as well as all the other shows, like I always do Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays for members. If you're not a member, click the join button in the description box below. We have a lot of fun on the weekends. And while we sit there and talk about soaps, we talk about some other stuff as well. So you definitely want to be a part of that. With that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. And I will see you in the next video.